The holidays with chronic illness can feel impossible. Today I'm sharing 4 tips that actually work. Let's dive in. Hey everyone, I'm Nurse TLC, a public health nurse with over 20 years experience living with EDS. Welcome to Wellness Wednesday, where we talk about healing through van life, nature, and real strategies for living well with chronic illness. Let's dive in. The first tip is learn to say no. If you don't have the energy and you don't want to take too much energy and you're all stressed out because you're having a million people over, you learn to say no. That you can go out to eat. Like, we're going over to the VFW for Thanksgiving, so they have it for veterans free, and then free for veterans and spouses, and then anybody else from the public that wants to come, which is open to the public, they can have a meal for $12 with all the fixins. So do stuff like that. Don't make yourself cook all day, then do all the dishes. Get help and stuff like that. You learn to say no is a big one, because that was my worst problem, is I never can say no. And then you can choose, if you're really not feeling well, to stay home, and you can even FaceTime people, because even when we're not, like when I'm fine, my kids live far away, so we'll always FaceTime and stuff. So you don't have to be right there. And then I decided, I'm not going to cook this year, so because I can't. It's like stressful, and it takes too much energy, and it's just too much. We used to have people come, like the kids and whoever, and it just became too much energy to do all this, especially all the dishes. And to make potatoes, you use a pot. In a van, you have very limited space, so you're not doing all this. But if you're going to stay, I have base camp, so I have a home. So if I'm going to be at a base camp at the home base, and I'm going to be doing all this, I got to have pots, you got to have your roasting dish for your turkey, you've got to, whatever else you're making, tons of dishes, tons and tons and tons of dishes. Then if you get out the fine china, it's just too much. I can't deal with it. The hardest thing I've learned too, because I still up to this day have the biggest problem saying no to people, but I've learned, like I'm doing now, like I decided, I'm not doing Thanksgiving, period. When I was sick a few years ago and it was too much for me, it was an all-day thing. Like I said, I had everything. I did everything except for I didn't make pies. Somebody brought pies. But everything, all the dishes, they would help with dishes, but by then I was done. Like, I couldn't even stand. I was so fatigued. So 1 year after that, because it was too much, I ordered Thanksgiving from a local restaurant, and it had smoker. They had a smoker, so they smoked the turkey, and it was a whole turkey. And it had stuffing, it had mashed potatoes and gravy, there was rolls, there was salad, and green beans. It was delicious, and the best thing I ever did. And of course, don't pull out the china, use paper plates. That's what my recommendation is. Like, after that day, I was so joyful and happy with everybody. I wasn't all grouchy and hurting. So it's better if you can order from somewhere, like a nice restaurant, or go out. Not just for the holidays, but just in life, learn to say no and not be a people pleaser. Yes, because I'm a nurse, I'm a natural people pleaser. That's my biggest issue. I'm a natural people pleaser, so it sucks. It's hard to say no to this day. Like, also, tip number 2 is like budgeting your energy, like I'm saying. So don't spend all day doing all this stuff. You could start something the day before. You could have people bring stuff like a buffet. Don't do everything yourself. Definitely budget your energy, but that's kind of why van life is so nice, because you're not doing these extraordinary big meals. Like when I did the meal a couple years ago in the van for Thanksgiving with the little Cornish game hens that were stuffed, and potatoes and gravy and stuff, it was nice. It was just a small meal. It was perfect for 2 people, and I would do that again if I was having Thanksgiving in the van. So I like the smallness, and that you don't have to have so much and do so much. And then you can lay down. Van life is ultimate for me. like if I go visiting people for the holidays, say I was going to my kid's house or something out of town, oh heck yeah, I lay down in the van if I need to. I have my heating pad right here, which I love. Y'all know that. Oh, and Sage is back here. She's behind me. Let me see if I can get the camera to show her. See her sleeping right there behind the pillow? She did that to my bed, so she's back there enjoying life. There, we're back. So, and then topic the third point I want to make is there's always people giving you unsolicited advice. They're always saying, oh, why can't you just go do yoga, or, you know, you can take this or that, it will cure you. I know, Dee, you've been through this on your comments. How they always give you advice of this, that, or the other, that people were miraculously cured by something. Well, as a nurse and a patient, if there was a miraculous thing for me to do for my EDS or dystonia, believe me, I would have done it and tried it. Believe me, I've tried everything. I've researched everything. And it is not going to be miraculously cured unless they've come up with something, you know, like in the future that is miraculous. But right now, we're all doing what we can to get by. It's Editing Tanya here. I forgot to give tips for the unsolicited health advice that people may give you. I suggest you come up with scripts ahead of time that you can say so you don't get irritated, because that happens when you're saying something over and over all the time. Say something like, I appreciate you thinking of me, but me and my care team have a plan that works. You can even say something like, I'd rather not talk about my health today. How about let's talk about such and such, or something like that. I'd rather not talk about my health today. I just want to have a very happy Thanksgiving. Let's talk about sports, the weather, something like that. Just deflect to a different question or a different topic. Oh, I forgot about this. That's why I'm looking at my little notes here. It says, if you have a condition like I do with POTS, or people have a condition like diabetes, make sure you have like a little pack prepared or stuff you need with you if you're going somewhere, or even at your house. And wear your like if you have POTS or dysautonomia, wear your compression socks. Have a seat, or like I've been using, a stool when you're cooking. Have a escape room or somewhere you can go to lay down. Make sure you're hydrating good all day. And if you're have diabetes or something, make sure you have a kit. You can test your blood sugar and such, and don't let it get high or low. And then eat small amounts throughout the day instead of a huge, large meal if you can. Because then your digestion, the blood, like when you have dysautonomia and you're digesting a big meal, the blood rushes to your gut to digest and away from your brain. So if you're going to digest right after you eat, do not stand and start doing dishes or anything like that. Sit down somewhere and digest for a while. That's my tips. Oh, also, another thing I do everywhere I go, and it's easy with van life, is I bring my own chair. Because when there's a lot of people at an event somewhere, there's never enough chairs, especially if you go outside. So I always bring my own chair. So that's another tip. Because if you need to sit down and everybody's sitting and there's no place, and it just makes it more rough. So bring your chair if you're going out, like not at a restaurant obviously, but if you're going somewhere and somebody's house and there's gonna be a lot of people there, bring your own chair. Here looks a mess. Anyway, look isn't this cute? A little rescue bag. And I have an inhaler in case I need it. I have my electrolytes in there. They're called Rescue Drops by Bowie. Here, right now. But before I leave, if I need anything else, I'd put it in my little rescue bag. One of them is learning to say no. And I think that's the problem with a lot of people is, people, like, especially if you have kids and stuff or grandkids, they're, you know, if they're coming over and they want to come to your house, then if you're hosting, you want to do everything, and it's hard to like delegate to people. I'm a very hard, like I have a hard, even though I'm a nurse and nurses have to delegate, it was a hard skill for me to learn. Like taking rest when you need it throughout the day and maybe telling somebody else to watch the turkey or whatever, or bring a buffet, have people bring all the side dishes if you're doing the turkey. Number 2 was energy budgeting. So that means take little breaks throughout the day and don't stand on your feet for hours on end. And if you know you have 3 good hours a day, like that's your energy, and then you crash, then you make sure you budget that out throughout the day and not be crashed after the 3 hours of cooking. So you're just laid out and tired the whole day and can't do anything. Try to budget your energy. And those of us that have these issues, we know the spoon theory. So you only have so many spoons a day. Say you have 10 spoons a day, and getting up, getting dressed, showering takes 3 of those spoons. Then you have 7 left, and you have to budget that throughout the day. So like say making the green bean casserole takes a spoon. If you're going to peel potatoes, that definitely takes a spoon. You know, all this stuff throughout the day. You can have a little emergency kit like I just showed if you've got health issues that require like diabetes or POTS. You want a little kit that has everything you need that's in your purse or whatever with you. And Bowie gave me this little bag when I bought their all their rescue drops and stuff, because they're unflavored, and I don't like flavored things much except for that one white peach. But anyway, have a little rescue bag with everything you need to keep going. Yeah, that's it right here. I choose activities based on how long of a crash I will have and is it worth it right now. Exactly, because you start knowing that you're going to have a crash, okay? So like I was saying at the beginning here, I'm not doing the big Thanksgivings anymore where I have to cook everything. The only type of Thanksgiving I'll do at my house, if I have to, like my home base, if I have to cook something, will be if people, it's all potluck, and maybe I'm doing the ham or the turkey. That's it. If I have to cook all these things, no. And also, we'll do paper plates from now on. I'm not doing a million dishes at the end because that always gets me. And when I started ordering food from local restaurants for Thanksgiving instead of cooking, my life changed. So I do that. But this year we're going to the local VFW because veterans eat free and their spouse. So Derek and I will eat free. And then it's $12 for the public. So if you have a local VFW, check out their Thanksgiving dinner. Because most of the time it's open to the public, and for $12 you get everything. So that would be worth it. I would order from there before, and if I was staying home, before I would go cook all this. It's not happening anymore. And have a very happy Thanksgiving, and I will see you next Wednesday. And the video won't be out this week. It'll be out next week when I get my new laptop. Love you guys. Bye.
On the road to healing, 1 mile at a time, with desert sage and hope by my side.